Welcome to day 2 of the Toronto International Film Festival, edition 43. My name is Cameron Bailey. I'm the artistic director here at TIFF. I want to thank you all for coming out this afternoon. You're in for something remarkable. This is the North American premiere of the new film by Brady Corbet, VOX, LUX. We're thrilled to have Brady here. To begin, we want to acknowledge where we are today, the land that we're on. This is the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Huron-Wendat First Nations. We're grateful to be living and working in this community. A reminder, since it's only day 2, that this film is eligible for the most important award we give out. That's the Grolsch People's Choice Award, and that's the award that you vote on. So please remember to vote. You can do that on our website at tiff.net/vote. You can do it on your phones after the film. Big thanks to the Canadian distributor of VOX LUX, Elevation Pictures, and thanks also to William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, to Creative Artists Agency, WME and CAA, and to Sierra Affinity for providing us with the film. Brady Corbet is someone you might have come to know first as an actor. His credits include Martha, Marcy May Marlene, Force Majeure, Clouds of Sils Maria, and Eden. A lot of those are European films, but Brady was born in Scottsdale, Arizona. When you see his work as a director, you'll see that he is immersed both in American cinema and in international art house cinema. He made his feature directorial debut with The Child of a Leader 3 years ago in 2015, which some of you might have seen. This is his latest film. I don't think I want to say too much about it before you see it. It's something that you need to experience, but if you're familiar with the term, the Society of the Spectacle, you will see it in the flesh. And we're very pleased that Brady is here to introduce the film to you. Please join me in welcoming the director of VOX LUX, Brady Corbet.
Hi, everyone. Wow, this place is big. I just want to thank the festival for having us, and I would like to thank the producers of the film, because this was a very difficult film to produce. So thank you so much for getting it made. Natalie and Jude and I will be back for a Q&A at the end of the film. I hope you, well, I don't hope anything. I'll see you afterwards. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage writer-director Brady Corbet and actors Natalie Portman and Jude Law. Now, before we open it out to the house, something I just would like to ask you, Brady, is, I feel like VOX LUX deals with so many of the most critical issues of the last 20 years, from school shootings to terrorism to the erasure of privacy in public life. And what I'm most curious about is when you began to conceive the project, did it come out of a desire to explore these themes, or was it the story or the character?
Yeah, I started with the themes. I mean, that's, yeah. I was living in Paris, just a block away from where the Bataclan attack was, and a restaurant got shot up that I frequented with my newborn daughter, and it was fairly distressing and haunting, and it sort of started there. But then, it evolved, and it kind of took on a life of its own.
Yeah. And for you, Natalie and Jude, I wonder if, when you're working on a project like this as an actor, do you find yourself thinking about how the themes of the film have played into your own life and your own experiences, or do you just focus on the character?
Well, yeah, I feel like this kind of commodification of everything, like where violence becomes something you sell, news is something you sell, private life of you sell your private life, and all of that. The line in the movie about what brings a terrorist and a pop star sort of in alignment is that people paying attention to them is what makes them valuable and what gives them power. And that kind of commodification of attention is like exactly what we're living through right now. So, I mean, we all live it every day. It's our politics, it's our culture.
I was going to say, what's fun is when it's interesting. I've got loads of questions for Brady too. What's fun is hearing what started the whole thing for him, because the themes are, you read something that provokes something in you and that you're curious about, that you feel is relevant and alive and that you think plugs into what we're all going through. And then as an actor, it's exciting when you just get to step in and do your little bit. Right, that's all you've got in front of you, but you're aware that you're a part of a much bigger picture. So it's fun coming here and just seeing it and sharing it, because you're aware you're a part of a bigger picture, but at the time you're just sort of doing your little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's open up this bigger picture for you all to ask questions. If you could just raise your hands, and once you ask the question, I'll repeat it back so everyone can hear. Yes, down there. What is Vox Lux, the title of the film?
It means voice of light.
Yeah. Someone else? Yes? Can you explain why the film was difficult to get produced?
Now that you've seen it, you probably understand why. I mean, these are things that don't normally go together. I mean, the whole movie is one juxtaposition of, the first half of the movie is minimalism, the second half of the movie is maximalism. First half of the movie is impressionistic, the second half is expressionistic. We have Scott Walker's score, we have Sia's pop songs. So, I think that a lot of people just didn't understand it. And I don't think they understood the tone. Because the tone evolves and changes a lot over the course of the film. And so it was just unusual, and it just took a long time to find the right people to bring it to life. But, here we are.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine the elevator pitch for this.
It didn't go well.
Someone else? Yes, down there. So the question just regards the decision to have Willem Dafoe do the voiceover narration. I just
wanted to set it up like a fable in as direct a way as possible. Because when you're dealing with topical sort of subject matter, I didn't want people to think that the film was a neo-realist statement. The idea was that it was, it's an opera, it's a pop opera. And so a narrator just seemed appropriate.
I'm trying to see if there's someone up there. Yes, right in front. So the question is just about the concept behind the visual style and how that would have played into the performances as well.
I thought a lot about American movies from the 70s and early 80s, like Nick Rogue movies and stuff, and how free they were. They wouldn't necessarily begin how they'd end. They had a constant forward trajectory, and I really like that, because I find that I often sit down to watch a film and I know really where it's headed. And to keep mixing things up, I just thought it would be more alive, more like a patchwork quilt.
And I don't know if you guys have a comment about how camera placement or visual style.
It was just daily, there was a wonderful sense of focus. Brady and I certainly had spoken at length about how he saw each scene, and he was so clear and specific about how he was going to shoot it, and he kept his courage, from talking about it on the page right through to the day that we shot it, and you'd turn up, and some of those scenes you'll see are one shot, and it takes a huge amount of balls to turn up on a day, and we made a big decision earlier. We would just rehearse for a couple of hours and get it right, and then once you've done that, you've got maybe a couple of hours to just run it and hope that you're going to get it in the can. But that immediately focuses everyone's attention and gives you a specificity that is like, okay, these are the parameters of how we're going to get this scene, and everyone then applies themselves, and it gives you, I don't know, I left this experience feeling very invigorated about filmmaking, as opposed to let's just get coverage and shoot and we'll sort it all out in post, or it felt very much, it was courageous, and it was specific, I think is the word, which was challenging, and rewarding.
Yeah, and we did, for the section I did, it was almost all long Steadicam takes, which is the best as an actor, because we could just play, and I felt like it's not like little fragments. You kind of get to have the whole shape of a scene and really go through it and try different things. And despite having such a short time to shoot, I felt like we really had room. Brady really created room to play and explore and try different things, and freedom, which was, I agree with you that it felt like very fun and alive and creative, and in a way that's very uncommon.
Only really good actors love long takes. They're like, cool, I'm stoked.
I see a hand way in the back there. Yeah, the question is about the double casting in the film.
The film is about the cyclical nature of everything. The news cycle and the life cycle. And that's why she plays both roles.
Great. We see another hand. Oh, right here in front. So the question is, if I understand correctly, what he might change now, having finished the film. Yeah, even though it's been received very well, maybe there's always something later on that you wish you had done differently or explored more.
Honestly, I only finished the movie like a week ago, so No. It's a good question, but I'm sure I'll have a lot more to say about it in 1 year, because the thing is that when you making movies, whether you're acting in them or making them, they're like baby pictures. So you get on down the line and you realize, oh shit, I was a little fat, or whatever. And so I don't know. I hope that the movies I make in a decade are much better than the ones that I'm making now. But I'm doing the best with what I have.
That's great. I think we have time just for one more question. And yes, the woman in white there. So the question is just regarding, for our actors here, just regarding whether or not what they were doing on screen resonated
Only Jude.
a bit too closely.
Is that why you cast me? Now I get it. No, thank God, no. No. Well, sometimes. No. No, absolutely no. And that's the joy, you know. It was like stepping into this world. There was a little bit where I was like, God, yeah, I wish I lived like this, you know. And then in hindsight, no, I'm so glad I don't. It was, you know, that's one of the joys is you get to sort of dabble in a world that you dare not live in, that you don't live in.
Yeah, definitely no. I was like running from set to go like breastfeed my baby and like get avocado all over me and, you know, be like a distraught mess. Not the same or reminiscent at all. No.
Natalie was like changing diapers with those nails on.
Not advisable. Not advisable.
I think we could do one more quick one. Yes, right down here. So the question is just regarding sources for your character, Natalie.
Well, the character is definitely an invention of Brady's, but definitely inspired by a lot of different people. I don't want to say specific people, really, because it's probably not anything someone wants to be compared to. But I watched all the documentaries that exist, so you can imagine.
Great. Well, Brady, Natalie, Jude, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
Thank you
here.
for coming.
And please enjoy the rest of the festival.